So it's been a while since I've posted a video of Indian cards. So I thought I would do that here. I've gotten a few packages in the mail this week that have this theme from India. So thought I would go through some of the cards that I've been picking up. I've had this question a few times recently where people ask like, hey, how are you finding these cards? You get them from eBay. In my experience, you can't really find this stuff on eBay. I've only really found it through building a network of collectors and dealers from different countries. In this case, these are cards that you can find in India, but you're not really going to find other places. So to start with, here's some World Cup 1999 cards. So it's a Brian Lara, actually two different Brian Laras, and a Shane Warne. My understanding of these cards is they are unbranded or unlicensed, I guess. So really cool cards. I like them, but they are, probably would have a little bit less value than some of the licensed products. But really good shots, and was happy to pick those up, add them to my collection. Those were issued in 1999. I think they were by some bubblegum company, but not like one of the big ones. So they kind of just stole the image from other cards. So now moving on, this is one of the big bubblegum companies. This is Center Fresh. This is the Shane Warne number 36. And this is another card in the series, number 86. Actually, this is a slightly different card. I apologize. So this is the Score and Win that has the scratch off on the back. These were issued for the 1999 World Cup. Here's another one of those, except this is Sachin. This is number 75, and you'll see this a lot with these cards. Really, really sharp, except for like the centering on some of these is just horrific. So another Score and Win from Center Fresh. Here's the number 55. That's the style of the first one that we saw. Again, World Cup 99. Here's another one of that style. But you'll see like different pose, different numbers. That's number 55. The other one's 54. Now we get to the Mentos cards. I like these a lot. And there are several different Sachin cards. So there's actually a red series and a yellow series. So 3 different red series Sachins. And then there are a couple different yellow series Sachins I picked up as well. So you can see all told, you've got, all 5 of those. The 2 in the middle have the same pose. Next up, we've got, this is actually Boomer. So, the Boomer company, obviously really famous from the Kohli rookie, if you want to call it that. Extremely hard to find, not really fully issued. But this is the Sachin Boomer from earlier. A little bit, you see these, they're often diamond cut in my experience. So that's what this one is. Sharp, but kind of a weird cut. Now this is a Topps Cricket Attacks. This is a Kohli that is one of the limited edition ones that was not issued in packs. So this one is a harder one to find. You'll see people looking for this one, so I was happy to pick that up. And then here is a more typical Kohli silver. So this one is not super special or anything, but just a sharp card, was happy to grab it. A few Dhoni cards I picked up, and I'll actually go through some really cool Dhoni cards I picked up. But these are the 2017, 2018. Here's the gold. Love that design. And actually picked up some 2016, 2017 boxes and a 2012 box. I actually just sold a 2012 box to a collector this week, so was happy to pick up another one to replace it. Some more Kohlis. And then these are standee cards. These are really cool. You would fold these down and have them stand up. This is the Dhoni from 2017, and this is the Kohli from 2017. And these are, like I said, these are really nice. They seem to be harder to find in my experience. I'm not going to say that they're rare, because I've talked to Indian collectors. They're like, no, they're not really rare per se. It's not like you'd be like ecstatic to find one. You just don't see them nearly as much as some of the more common cricket attacks from the era. And then here's another Dhoni standee, but this one is not in nearly as nice condition. It's got some, I guess that's like a little bit of color loss on the front. Cool. So that's the first stack. Some really good stuff in there. These are the Dhoni cards I was talking about that are, I had never seen these before. I'm not saying that they're like impossible to find. I'm just saying like in the few years that I've been talking with Indian collectors, these had not crossed my desk. And yeah, was just really, really, really excited to add these all in one go. And in the pictures, I couldn't tell that these were like mirror-like. They're actually really attractive in real life. So I'm even more excited to have them. But the cool thing about these, Dhoni's rookie, a lot of people say like the 2009 sets. I have a 2008 Pepsi lenticular card, which is my earliest card, but these are actually from 2008 as well. So these are very, very early Dhoni cards. And, these are the Nutrien Mahalacto, which I'm guessing is some kind of milk drink. I've never had Nutrien Mahalacto, but how sharp are those? And each one has a different back that tells you different facts about him. Some of them have his stats on them. That's a sharp one. Check out the hair, the flowing hair on that one. So there's his ODI stats. So sometimes this is just a trick of the trade. Like if you're trying to figure out when a card is from, you can go and see what his stats were up to that point, and then go and like kind of work back, look online, see how many matches he had played in each year. And that's how I was able to tell that these were actually from, I think these were from like December of 2008 was the timeline that seemed to make the most sense, or at least late 2008. So yeah, so a whole series of these guys, which are really cool. Some Sachin, speaking of shiny cards, like take a look at that. That's pretty cool. I don't know much about these. Somebody was selling them for a pretty reasonable price. I'm guessing that these are, unlicensed. So if anyone out there has information on like where these came from, where did you get these from, let me know. But sometimes I just see stuff I haven't seen before, and it's definitely from the era. I can tell that it's not like someone printed them last week. So somebody probably printed these back in, I don't know, around the year 2000, I would guess. I can actually figure it out, I guess, if I looked at the match stats, but probably 2000 or early 2000s. But yeah, like this one has rectangular borders. The other ones have rounded borders, or corners, I should say. Other than that, don't know much about these. And then here's one. I only have a couple Big Babool cards, but I actually really like these. These are like super tiny. I just think they're cool. I mean, I'm sure there's other people out there that probably don't care for them as much, but I think they're really neat. All right, so now to a couple cards I did not get from Indian collectors. I actually got these from a collector in England. But this is a Golden Wicket. These were issued in the 1996 Sports Deck South Africa release. But yeah, whenever I see these, I'm always trying to pick these up. I only had one other copy, so I was really happy to grab this one. So really happy to grab that. And then this is the India team card from 1990. And this has Sachin in it, possibly his first ever card, depending on who you ask. But just a really, really cool and pretty hard to find card in my experience. And then this is another one that I've gotten a while back. It's another Mentos. So I showed some other Mentos earlier. Actually, I can put it up there with those. So this is a little bit of a series of the different Mentos cards. And I'll end with something a little bit different. I'm not typically much of a soccer collector, but in one of the trading groups, I was kind of scrolling through what people were offering up and selling, and someone had these old soccer cards from, I think, I've done a little bit of research, probably between the late 80s, early 90s is when these were likely issued. But, I saw some names in here I recognized, especially Maradona, and figured I should pick these up. Not sure if anyone has any information about these. I was told these were likely issued in India around the year 1990, possibly around like one of the World Cups. But anyway, really neat cards. Don't really have much information on them. If anyone does, let me know. But just was happy to pick those up. And I like getting unique cards, things that I haven't seen before. You just never know when you're going to come across them again. So was happy to pick those up. But that's it for today. Next time I'll probably go back to some vintage stuff. I have picked up a few more vintage autographs. I know that's been kind of a theme recently. But I have not forgotten about my Indian cards. Always interested to delve deeper in Sachin and Kohli and Dhoni, and just a lot of the different issues from this era.